In the quiet countryside of Amstetten, Austria, where the serenity of rural life masks the darkness that can lie hidden, an unthinkable horror unfolded within the confines of a seemingly ordinary home. The story of Josef Fritzl and his daughter Elisabeth is a chilling tale of captivity, deception, and the depths of human depravity. It was August 28, 1984, when Elisabeth Fritzl, an 18-year-old girl, was lured into a hidden dungeon beneath her family home by her father, Josef Fritzl. What seemed like a normal evening would soon become the beginning of a nightmarish ordeal that would last for 24 long years. The world outside remained oblivious to the horrors concealed behind the walls of Fritzl's home, while Elisabeth's life was about to be reduced to an existence of unimaginable suffering. Josef Fritzl, a man who presented himself as a respectable figure in his community, had meticulously planned this abduction. Driven by a perverse desire for control and power, he constructed a hidden cellar beneath the family's house, a labyrinthine dungeon designed to imprison and control his own daughter. This underground prison was a twisted creation designed to break Elisabeth's spirit and enforce his own dark fantasies. The cellar was a subterranean nightmare, a network of rooms that would become Elisabeth's world for decades. It was a space of suffocating confinement, with no natural light and minimal ventilation. The conditions were designed to strip away any sense of hope or normalcy, leaving Elisabeth in a perpetual state of darkness and isolation. Over the years, Josef Fritzl maintained a cruel facade of normalcy in the outside world, while the reality of his daughter's imprisonment was concealed within the walls of his home. He orchestrated a carefully controlled deception, convincing his wife, Rosemary, and the outside world that Elisabeth had simply vanished. He fabricated a story of her running away, leaving behind a family that mourned her loss, all while he continued his horrific abuse in secret. Inside the cellar, Elisabeth endured relentless torment. She was subjected to physical and psychological abuse, her life reduced to a series of humiliations and ordeals. Josef's control was absolute, and any semblance of normalcy or comfort was stripped away. Elisabeth gave birth to 7 children during her captivity, each child a symbol of her suffering and Josef's domination. The horror of Elisabeth's captivity was compounded by the isolation and the constant threat of violence. The dungeon was a place of fear, where any hope of escape was extinguished by the ever-present threat of Josef's wrath. Her life was governed by the whims of a man who had twisted fatherhood into an instrument of torture. Despite the unimaginable conditions, Elisabeth displayed a remarkable resilience. She found ways to protect her children and maintain a semblance of dignity in the face of overwhelming darkness. Her survival was a testament to the strength of the human spirit, even in the most harrowing of circumstances. The world outside remained unaware of the true horror hidden within the Fritzl home. The search for Elisabeth was a tragic sideshow, as the police and the public were misled by Josef's deceitful narrative. It was only when Elisabeth's oldest daughter, Kirsten, fell gravely ill and was brought to the hospital that the truth began to unravel. In April 2008, Kirsten's condition prompted a desperate intervention. The hospital staff, alarmed by the medical records and the family's suspicious behavior, alerted the authorities. The investigation revealed the truth of Elisabeth's captivity, and the horror of her ordeal was exposed to the world. The dungeon, once a place of confinement, became the focal point of a major criminal investigation. Josef Fritzl was arrested and charged with numerous crimes, including incest, rape, false imprisonment, and murder. The trial that followed was a public spectacle, a chilling recounting of the horrors that had unfolded behind closed doors. The details of Elisabeth's suffering and Josef's deceit were laid bare, leaving the world stunned by the sheer depravity of the case. In November 2009, Josef Fritzl was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. His wife, Rosemary, who had been complicit in his deception, faced legal consequences as well. The case became a symbol of the darkness that can lie hidden behind the facade of normalcy, and the resilience of a victim who survived against all odds. The story of Elisabeth Fritzl serves as a stark reminder of the horrors that can be concealed within the most seemingly ordinary settings. It is a testament to the depths of human cruelty and the strength required to endure such suffering. Elizabeth's ordeal remains a haunting reflection of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows and the courage needed to escape from such a nightmarish reality. As you reflect on the case of Josef Fritzl and Elizabeth, remember that true horror often hides behind the most familiar facades. Her story is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist within families, and the incredible strength required to survive and overcome such unimaginable cruelty.